These are my 50 definition of terms. Number one is the corrections. Uh, it is the branch of administration and criminal justice charged with the responsibility for custody, supervision, and rehabilitation of the convicted offender. Number two is the jails. These are institutions for the confinement of persons who are awaiting a final disposition of their criminal cases, and also for the service of those convicted and punished with shorter sentences, uh, usually to 3 up to 3 years. Number three is the lockup. It is a security facility for the temporary detentions of persons held for investigation or awaiting um, preliminary hearing. Number four is the ordinary jail. Um, the houses both offenders awaiting court actions and those serving sentences, usually up to 3 years. Number five is the workhouse, uh, on jail, farm, or the camp house. It is the minimum custody offenders serving short sentences with constructive work programs. Number six is the warden. Warden is the responsible for the direction, mm, coordination, and control of the personnel, the inmates, and the programs of the institution. Seven is the intelligence and the investigation team. They gather, collates, and submit intelligence information to warden on matters pertaining to jail conditions, plot or plans by prisoners that they threaten the safety of the personnel functioning of the institutions. Number 8 is the jail inspectorate section. This section inspects the jail facilities, the personnel, and the prisoners, and submits reports of deficiencies noted. Number 9 is the public relation office. Um, this is tasked with the maintenance of good public relation to obtain the necessary and adequate support of the public. Number 10 is the assistant warden. Principal assistant of the warden, um, he keeps himself informed to be able to um, assume command effectively during warden's contemporary absence. Number 11 is the administrative group. This group takes charge of all administrative functions of the jail, keeps records of jail properties, supplies and equipment, and maintains personnel records. Number 12 is the personnel management branch, which they are responsible for preparation and maintenance of personnel procedure, assignment of personnel, preparation of daily report, and monthly personnel reports. Number 13 is the record and statistics branch. They keep and maintain an orderly record of booking sheet and arrest reports, fingerprint cards, photographs, and index cards of inmates confined in jail and in individual prisoners' jackets. Number 14 is the uh, property and supply branch. Uh, they takes charge of the safekeeping of equipments and supplies and the requisitioning of supplies and materials needed for the operation of the jail. Number 15 is the budget and finance branch. Um, it takes charge of financial matters, especially in programming, budgeting, accounting, and other activities related to financial services. Number 16 is the mess services branch. They takes charge of the preparation of the daily menu, makes food stuff, prepares and cooks the food and serve it to the inmates. Number 17 is the general services branch. They are responsible for the maintenance and repair of jail facilities and equipment, and also tasked with the cleanliness as well as the beautification of the jail compound. Number 18 is the Mitimus Computing Branch. They receives court decisions and Mitimus and ascertains by computation um, the date of um, full completion of the service of sentence of each prisoner for his eventual release from jail. Number 19 is the Mitimus. It is warrant issued by a court bearing its seal and signature of judge, directing the said jail for prison authorities to receive the convicted offender. Number 20 is the security group. It provides the system of sound, um, custody, security, and control of inmates and their movements. It enforces and maintains inmates' discipline. Number 21 is the escort section. It produces inmates under proper guard to the fiscal's office, courts, tribunals, and other judicial or authority upon proper summons. Number 22 is the um, Sablona section. It receives, distributes, and serves subpoenas, notices, orders, summons, and other court processes directed to inmates confined in jails. Number 23 is the security platoon. There are 3 working platoon shifts which shall be responsible for the overall security of jail compound. Number 24 is the 24 admitting or releasing unit. This is part of the security platoon. It is tasked with receiving of persons committed to jail and the proper release of prisoners who have served a prison sentence. Number 25 is the Rehabilitation Services Group. Um, they provides services and assistance to prisoners and their families to enable them to solve their individual needs and problems arising from the prisoner's confinement. Number 26 is the 26 Medical and Health Services Branch. Um, Provides necessary medical and physical um, examination of inmates upon commitment, treats and sick prisoners during confinement, and conducts medical and physical examinations. Number 27 is the work and education therapy service. It takes charge of the work or job and educational program needs for the rehabilitation of the prisoners. Number 28 is the sociocultural services. It takes care of the social case, work, study of individual prisoners um, by making interviews, home visits, referral to community resources, um, free legal services, uh, liaison, liaison words for the inmates. 29 is the chaplain, uh, chaplaincy services. It takes charge of the religious and moral upliftment of the inmates through religious services. This branch caters to all religious sects or denominations. Number 30 is the guidance counseling services, responsible for the individual and group counseling activities to help um, inmates solve their individual problems and to help them um, lead a wholesome and constructive life after their referral, after their release. Number 31 is the control center. It is centrally located and elevated facility with good fields of observation, um, of facilities, and manpower will permit a jail should be provided with a control center. Number 32 is the discipline. It is a continuing state of good order and behavior. In prison, it includes the maintenance of good standards of words, um, sanitation, safety, education, and recreation. Number 33 is the prison discipline, concerned with the responsible regulation of everyday institutional life so that the institution will be an orderly, self-respecting community. Number 34 is the self-discipline. It is the ability to conform, to accepted standards and for individual and community life in free society. Number 35 is the good communication. Mm. It is an important element of the discipline wherein management conveys to the inmates the things the latter ought in to do, and in turn the inmates convey to the management how they feel about the program of prison. Number 36 is the preventive discipline. It involves prompt correction um, of minor deviations before they become serious um, violations, which may be dealt with a reprimand or and issued when the deviation is trivial. Number 37 is the behavior report. Um, it includes it includes both bad acts and attitude, as well as exceptionally good work habits and attitudes. Number 38 is the misconduct report. Um, misconduct report carries every violation um, of law or rules, and every case is by the board investigated by the board. Number 38 is the solitary confinement, frequently accomplished um, with dietary restrictions and use in extreme cases, especially when there is danger that the prisoner may hurt himself or others. Number 40 is the council reprimand. It is a mild form of punishment um, imposed for trivial offenses. 41 is the disciplinary cases in prisons. Uh, the deputy superintendent for custody is responsible for disciplinary and positive actions. Number 42 is the general and academic education. The first legal recognition of academic education as desirable in penal or informatory institutions was in 1847, when he or she um, when the legislation of how of New York State provided for the two teachers for each state prison. Number 43 is the vocational education. It is usually directed to institutional maintenance of prison and utilization of maintenance of prison and the utilization of maintenance work to provide on-the-job training of prisoners. Number 44 is the industrial and educational programs. Um, um, these are opportunities. These opportunities should be provided or the inmates to acquire trade-related academic instruction if needed. Number 45 is the uh, work programs. When labor was introduced into prisons, it was regarded primarily as a means of punishment, although the possibilities for profits were not overlooked. Number 46 is the works services for jails. The convicted, able-bodied prisoners may be required to work at least 8 hours a day um, on worthwhile and the government projects, except on the Sunday and legal holidays. Number 47 is the religious services. Religious plays an important role in a person's life. These are given for the purpose of changing the attitude of the inmates by inculcating to them the value of religious beliefs. Number 48 is the religious services for jails. Religious plays a unique role in the moral and spiritual regeneration of man. Number 49 is the recreational program. This is usually conducted during free time, scheduled and should be designed to meet the needs and interests of the inmate. Number 50 is the health and medical services. These services include mental and physical examination of the prisoner, observations, diagnosis, and treatment by immunization and protection. So these are my 50 definition of terms.